and welcome to beautiful downtown Lindenwald. Thank you. You can come over, you can brave the sunshine for a little bit. We've got some people over here in the shade. It's a beautiful warm day here. Hamilton, Ohio. My name is Ian Mackenzie Thurley. I'm the Executive Director of the Fitton Center for Creative Arts, and alongside our partners in the City of Hamilton and the Hamilton Community Foundation, we run the StreetSpark program here in Hamilton, now in our fourth year, exceptional murals throughout the city, and we are here in beautiful Lindenwald to celebrate this incredible new mural. As part of the Fitton Center, we do need to thank the Hamilton Community Foundation, the City of Hamilton, Artswave in Cincinnati, and the Ohio Arts Council for their ongoing support of the Fitton Center and for the arts in Hamilton and Ohio. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. StreetSpark, as I said, we've been doing a few murals now over a few years, and like lots of things going on in this city, and this magnificent resurgence we're seeing throughout Hamilton has started in the core downtown. As that has expanded, StreetSpark and the Fitton Center and the arts has wanted to be right there. We are incredibly proud of what we've been able to achieve this year. You've seen us down at Booker T. Washington Community Center. We've dedicated that mural just last month. Absolutely sensational. And to come out here into what is one of the heart and soul places of Hamilton here in Lindenwald. If you, there, I can get some, I know how to work the crowd. We have our incredible 17-strong community coming together throughout the city, but if you've had anything to do with protocol here in Lindenwald, they have been far ahead of that pack for many years. There is a great love for this area and this community that has been built throughout Hamilton's time, and Lindenwald has really been at the backbone of that. We've been very, very fortunate with the Fitton Center to have great interaction down here. Frank Downey, who you're going to meet very soon, has been one of our fantastic volunteers, but he does that with his heart and soul, and particularly down here in Lindenwald. I always like to tell the story that they have meetings, and we all go to lots of meetings, and this is what we should do, and this is how we should do it, and let's have another meeting about it. Here in Lindenwald, they cancel the meeting and they go and pick up trash. True story. They do that. Instead of sitting around talking about how you can make your city better or how you can make your neighborhood better, they roll up their sleeves and they do it. And it's incredible to see. It's something that's an example to all of us throughout the city. And we're very proud to be down here. Thank you. To our artists, to our muralists, thank you so much for what you've done, for the contribution. We're all standing out here in the afternoon sun, and it's a little warm. Try spending a couple of weeks out here, morning to sundown, in the baking sun and to paint. It's an absolute challenge, and I know that they're going to be introduced to you very soon. To our friends here at Minix, again, you're going to get an introduction there, but thank you so much to have the community right here. This is a great gateway into Hamilton, and we are very, very fortunate. To Jen Akers-Smith, who is our program director of StreetSpark, thank you once again. Incredible delivery of this magnificent piece of art. As I said, this is a great partnership with us, the city, and the foundation, and to be able to deliver these things with such great care and such great skill and artistry makes me incredibly proud, and the team as well. So with that, I'd like to hand over to the StreetSpark Program Director, Ms. Jen Akers-Smith.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for coming out today. You know, when we first started talking about these, the buildings that we wanted to select for 2019, we took a look actually at the Pleasant Avenue revitalization strategy. It was something that was created by Miami University planning students, and they kind of put together an array of things that could beautify the area here in Lindenwald, and this was actually a site that they suggested in their plan. So it's kind of the entrance to the Lindenwald Business District, so we thought it would be a really great way to kind of welcome people into Lindenwald. Like, you are here, you are in Lindenwald. I have a couple of good friends from Lindenwald, and they are, you know, deeply loyal to their hometown, and I think that this mural just further emphasizes that real community pride. Anytime someone talks about that they're from Lindenwald, they're there for it. So we're just really glad to be a part of this. Fred Minnick and his dad Ralph were just so open to the process. They had seen some of the murals that were downtown and wanted to be a part of the program. Fred and Jim, the manager, actually participated in our selection process. So they helped us score the designs. They came to the final selection meeting, and they actually had really excellent suggestions on, what buildings need to be in this mural to really make it a Lindenwald mural. So thank you to that. So it was just a smooth and enjoyable process from start to finish. And, for me, I think collaborating with these groups like Miami University, like the building owners and the communities, that's what it's all about. And I have a few other groups I'd like to thank. There are a lot of moving parts that need to happen. The artists are our stars, but behind the scenes, there's a lot that goes on. Of course, the City of Hamilton and the Hamilton Community Foundation, we could not do this without you guys. So thank you so much for your faith in us to make these happen. We have a design selection committee that I mentioned before that they take a look at the designs that the artists are submitting, and they are going through a scoring process with those, and they're ultimately selecting these designs. So if you're out there from the design selection committee, just give a little wave. See a few here. Thank you so much for making these choices. These are beautiful. Thanks again to the Minix family and the staff here at Minix. So the artists set up camp over here with their tent for a couple of weeks, and I just couldn't hear enough good things about what the staff here did for them. So thank you. Thanks to the Fitton Center staff for setting up these events and for their administrative support. They actually have a big event coming up really soon here on August 16th. They have their season launch. So if you want to know more about what's coming up, check it out. It's a party. I also want to thank TvHAMILTON, who is taping this today. They made a series of really awesome videos for us this year. They went to each of the sites and interviewed the artists and just took the time to make some really cool promo pieces, and we really appreciate that. So thank you. And then finally, thank you to Hanson Scaffolding. So they do all of the scaffolding builds for us, and it means so much to me to be able to trust a company to put people up on heights. This one wasn't quite as high, but they've had some pretty high murals that we've had to paint. So I just really appreciate them being there and being so professional. So let's give a round of applause to these groups that make this happen. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce to you our mural designer and lead artist. Dave Rickard is a graphic designer, and he makes murals all across the Cincinnati area. This was actually his first year working for StreetSpark, and he was one of the most positive people that I have worked with. He was always smiling. He was always open to improvements and suggestions, and some days there were many. This is a very detailed mural, so we would stand here and look at it, and the windows have to be lined up just so. The curve of the letters had to really work and flow. So he and Ben and John, the other artists, were so open to that process and detail-oriented. But I will, at this time, let Dave tell you a little bit more about that. Come on up.
Thanks, Jen. We had a blast doing this. Ben, you can come up with me. John, are you here? Maybe he'll be here in a little bit. He lives pretty far away. Ben Dysert is a student in Miami for one more year, and he came in every day just ready to do his job with pride, just like the name of the place is. It's Flowing with Pride in Lindenwald. The toughest part was drawing all the letters, making them look smooth and actual like a font. But man, these guys, they nailed it for us. They were here, and we did it in probably a day, didn't we?
Yeah, it took
Maybe
a day. We did have to change a few.
We changed a few things, but yeah, it really came up really quick, and then we could start slapping paint, and it just looks good from there when you put the color on. A quick rundown of the buildings, just so everyone knows what we actually put up here. The diving board is very end. Frank Downey said that there's a lot of swim pools here in Lindenwald at one time, and I would like to have that as a representative of Lindenwald. Then the orange building is the mill, Beckett Mill. I believe it's just north of town a little ways. Then you have the Butler County Courthouse, the Butler County Soldier Monument. The larger building here is Pierce Elementary. Then you have the Lindenwald Theater right behind Ben here. Then we have the firehouse, which is number 6, which is on Laurel Street, just down the road. St. Anne's Catholic Church. Then the Powerhouse Plant Silo. I believe that's still up just west of here. Then you have the St. Mary's Cemetery Bell Tower. And that's just down here on Pleasant, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's where it is. Then the electric trolley car, which we weren't around for that time, but they said they ran through town. The 92 on the front of that symbolizes the year that Ralph started the Minnick dynasty here. So, and then you have the great Miami River flowing underneath it all combined together. We added hidden importance in the mural as well. And I was just told today that Fred just recognized his mother's name for the first time a couple days ago. Regina up on top. The Powerhouse on the corner here, it's a reflection of a Powerhouse Atomic Bar across the street. They protected us in the rain. They helped make our thirst go away in the evening. And just all around good people. Tim and Roy and Kathy and Dina, we really appreciate them being here every day. And another person, Frank Downey. He's the one that gave me all the images of the buildings here to choose from. And he gave me thousands to choose from. It was hard to choose how to represent the Lindenwald, but I think it came through. We definitely felt the pride here of the community. Everybody that walked by or drove by, they yelled, "We love this! Nice job!" That's just a great pat on the back for everybody. It helped. But we do appreciate everyone in Lindenwald and how they help support us and came out every day. We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to have Jim McEwen, he's the manager here at Minnick's, to come up and just say a few words on Minnick's behalf. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, everyone, for coming. I want to have a special thanks to Jen and Dave and all the other artists that did this wonderful painting up here. Took a while because he got rained on quite a few times, but it turned out pretty good, didn't it? As always, we want to thank Fred, Frank, and Ralph for getting this started. I'm not sure who approached who, but whoever it was, they did the right thing, that's for sure. It looks beautiful. Also, the staff here at the drive-thru, Chelsea and the other workers, they tried to make Dave and everybody comfortable, so we want to thank them. I just can't tell you how amazing this is. I can speak from experience, and Dave was witness to it, that it's not only beautiful, but it's somewhat of a distraction. I was driving here one day and was looking to see if he had put Regina's name up there yet, and just so happened to take a left turn when I shouldn't have and got into an accident right in front of the darn building. So, yeah. One casualty already, so there you go. As Dave said, we've received thousands of compliments on this. It's unbelievable how many people have commented on it. We're just hoping it'll lead to a 50% increase in business, of course. As I said, we were honored to be chosen to have this on our building. And when Fred asked me to go and help choose the proper design, I think when the other people were mulling over it for an hour and a half or 2 hours just to decide on what they wanted, Fred and I made it easy, and I think it took us 15 minutes to decide, Fred? Yeah. So we knew the right one right from the start. Dave approached me about the subliminal ideas in there, and so I figured that we needed somebody to look down upon us, and so we put Fred's mother's name up there, Regina. And I didn't tell anybody. I'm kind of disappointed that Fred already found it, I'll be honest with you. I thought this was going to be an eye-opener for him. I don't know anything more to say other than thank you again, because every time I look at it, I don't just remember the accident I caused out here. I do remember all the pain and time that Dave and his guys put in, but also the wonderful, wonderful design it is. It's almost breathtaking, honestly. I think that I didn't have an idea of what it was going to look like or what to even think of what might be on that building, but I know when Fred and I saw this one, there was no question that this was the right one for us. And it's proved to be spot on. He bent over backwards to do everything we ever wanted. He was more than amicable. He just did a tremendous job. I just want to say thank you again.
Thank you again to our artists and the Minnick family. We really do appreciate it. Now I would like to introduce a gentleman who is no stranger to the streets of Lindenwald. Great representation on the protocol committee and, of course, of 17 Strong. Somebody who really did introduce me, along with Brandon Sauber, to the joys of Lindenwald. And there are some to be had. So some of those help to take care of your thirst in the evening, apparently. So it's a phrase I'm going to use well. Ladies and gentlemen, can I introduce to the microphone Mr. Frank Downey, and you'll see his initials up there on the diving board.
Thank you. In the first half of what I was going to talk about, I think everybody's thanked everybody up to this point, so I don't see any sense in going through much of that again. There has noticeably, to me anyway, one little group that has been left out, and I think it's the planning department from the city of Hamilton. It was Liz Hayden and Daniel Tidyman that put David Prithurch from Miami University together with the residents of Lindenwald, and then this the streetscape that they created for all of Lindenwald business district kind of came together. So hats off to Liz and Daniel for the job they did in helping bring all this together too. And I do have to talk a little bit about what David said the day we met and shared pictures. Dick Scheide's here, and he's the one that put together the Welcome to the Wald folder. And he had a plethora of pictures that he gave me to meet with Dave and show to him. There was one strange thing about that meeting. We came together. I don't know anything about art, and David didn't know anything about Lindenwald. But if now David doesn't know anything about Lindenwald, and I still don't know anything about art. So he really came out ahead in that respect. One of the points I'd really like to make today, though, is the flowing pride of Lindenwald. That's the name of this mural. It's not just the name of the mural. It's a feeling that exists in this community. A lot of us that live here never move away. We get away for a little bit. We go away to college. Different things take you different places, but we tend to come back. Mike Dingledine's standing out here. He's been long gone, but he was born and raised here. His dad was a pharmacist at one of the pharmacies right along here on Pleasant Avenue. And I was kind of hoping Fred's dad would be here today because Ralph Minnick and I started first grade together 65 years ago, right down the street here at St. Anne's, which is pictured here. And I'm sure neither one of us dreamed at the time that this day would happen where I'm talking in front of one of his drive-throughs. It's just amazing. It just keeps coming back around in Hamilton. In a few weeks, I'm going to go on vacation with some people I've known as friends. We do this every few years. Our parents ran around together as friends. Most of our parents owned businesses in this area. We had a greenhouse. We had a Sunoco gas station. We had a Hamilton Autographic, a printing company who had Veriker Sporting Goods, or Hamilton Sporting Goods. So it's just, they were right businesses right in these very buildings that we're walking past right now. So it's kind of neat to look back at that kind of stuff. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about some of our long-term businesses that have kept things going here in the Lindenwald Business District during thick and thin. Heaven Sent Coffee Shop, Dr. Stephen Hogue, optometrist, Dr. Fred Hogan, eye doctor, Callahan Kitchens, of course, Minix drive-thrus. And if you move from this area just a little bit, we still consider this side of Route 4 part of Pleasant Avenue. You got Richard's Pizza, and you've got Richard's Pizza and Chester's Pizza. Both of them have just been, just magnificent benefactors in the community. But now as things are starting to turn around a little bit, I want to at least make mention of the people that are starting to fill these buildings again now. The new businesses that are coming in and continuing to help us build. Sweden Cream, the Pleasant Avenue Barber Shop, Dean's Restaurant, Duff Construction, and Kevin Downer and Jane Curry, who opened the karate studio. I don't know if I've seen them here or not. I can't think of the actual name of the studio. They've been open less than a year. And they truly exemplify what Lindenwald is. If a kid comes into their studio and can't afford the $5 or $10 a month or whatever it is, they found sponsors for these kids. There's not a kid in Lindenwald that drives past that studio or walks past that studio that isn't allowed to take karate for lack of funding. And I think it just typifies the spirit, I think, that is strong in Lindenwald. Our Lindenwald Civic Association kind of faded away a little bit. I think protocol umbrellas it now, but they're starting to meet again. So I think within a year or so, we're going to have pretty strong up and coming Lindenwald Civic Association again. I'd be remiss if I didn't plug protocol a little bit. We meet on the third Monday of every month unless we're out picking up trash. 17 strong. If any of you get a chance and aren't from Lindenwald, don't hesitate to get involved in your local community councils. Don't hesitate to get involved with 17 strong. If you live in Hamilton at all, one of your neighborhoods is in there, and they're just waiting to hear from you. On Saturday morning, and I've got some flyers on the table over there, we're doing a little bit of a cleanup, a little bit of a 311 blitz, and a little bit of a scavenger hunt in conjunction with Healthy Hamilton. There are flyers over there on the paper if you want to join. It's only an hour and a half. But it's going to be a lot of fun. The part of the scavenger hunt is when we're 311ing properties and picking up trash, it's such a negative feel. What the scavenger hunt is, we want you to find and take a picture of somebody walking their dog, two neighbors sitting on their front porch talking to each other. And we want everybody that goes on this scavenger hunt to talk to somebody and make a new friend. So this was the idea of Christine Latta, who just is a dynamic person to work with, and she runs Healthy Hamilton. Let's put a positive spin on this kind of stuff, generate a little more interest. Again, I want to thank everybody who made this event possible. We're proud as hell of this. I love the colors. If you've seen the entry, there are 3 entryways into Lindenwald that have signs, and we got grants from 17 Strong this year. We're going to repaint the signs in the colors of the mural. It kind of reminds me of that one TV insurance where we can't do nothing about that. But I was going to end by telling everybody I wanted to thank them for helping make Lindenwald great again. And then you know what I thought about the speech that Cindy McCain gave when her father died? Lindenwald's always been great. There was nothing to bring back. It's had its ups and its downs, but it's always been great, and it's going to be better yet. Thank you all so much.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming on this warm afternoon. I would just like to ask our artists and our partners and our committee members, the Minix family, just if you could stay for a couple quick photos, we would love that. Thanks. Have a great evening.